Hey everybody, welcome back to the NOOP. Tonight we are going to be talking about character inspiration. What we pull our characters from.
Yeah, like how we come up with our character ideas for characters, the whole thing you can play.
How many times can we say characters?
Probably a lot. Well, with us tonight we've got Rob.
Ew.
As usual, Mike.
Yo.
Zach.
Hello.
And tonight we have Alec back with us.
Back again.
Back from the Great White North.
Oh, yeah.
From the deaths.
40 plus inches of snow. That's true. That's pretty terrible.
I wasn't even there, though.
Yeah, good time. So you were on a mountain. Right?
Yes.
In more snow.
Yeah, out west.
Breaking things. So we'll get to that, though. So before we do get started tonight, we do have to talk about big news for us, which is our first ever confirmed fan outside of people who we actually know in real life.
Oh my god, somebody listening to us.
Yes, someone who we don't know
Just
listening
because
to us.
they emailed it doesn't mean that they're a fan.
He said
Time to email.
he said he enjoys the show. I think that's what fandom is.
My mom hasn't mastered emailing me yet.
And what does that have to do
I
with
don't
Yeah,
know
but
what
I
this has
email
to do
lots
with
of
your
people
mom.
that I'm not a fan of, so...
Alright, Rob, way to tear us down, man. Way to tear us down.
Do you
Just saying.
email them and say, hi, I'm not a fan of yours. I'm emailing just because.
I think you
I'm
guys are
emailing
jerks.
to complain, usually.
That's not the same
Well,
thing.
this person didn't really complain.
No, not much. Anyway, his name was Chris. I won't give out any more information because I don't know if he wants it out there. So hi, Chris. He just said, hello, I want to say hi. I enjoy your podcasts. What are you pointing at?
Squeaking.
Oh, the squeaking? Oh, I can get rid of the squeaking. Never mind the squeaking. You screwed me all up here. So he said, hi, I enjoy your podcast. I listen to them, blah, blah. He says, I personally would enjoy for you to actually record one of your D&D games and put it up. It'd be nice to finally hear one after hearing all those awesome things about them in the podcasts. So, what do you think about that? You think you want to start recording?
First of all, they're not that awesome.
It's just awesome spurts. Just little gems of awesome.
I think that we definitely can, we have better audio equipment and we can all be heard. It'll be better. And I think that we should start from the beginning of maybe the next game we run.
Yeah. Well, actually, I responded to him today and told him that if we did do something like that, because we have been talking about it on and off, that we've got to do it at the beginning of a campaign. Because if we did it right now, it'd be weird because no one would have any fucking clue what's going on.
I have barely any clue what's going on. I'm running the game.
You wouldn't know who the characters are. You wouldn't know what the storyline is. So
I'm pretty sure Zach's character's name is Aeolus.
Yeah.
I think.
I learned it!
I have to write them down. Even
Thank you,
like within the
legendary
PCs, I have to write them down.
Hercules Legendary Journeys.
Yes. Yes.
So there's character inspiration right there.
There we go.
That was it.
Is that a segue?
It doesn't have curly blonde hair, though.
It would only be a
No,
segue if we
that's
started talking
just
about our topic right this second and not ruin it by delaying. Like so.
Anyway.
So what kind of hair does Aeolus have?
Curly hair.
Yeah, well, that's in the show.
Well,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. The only thing he shares with him is the name.
And the
Pretty much.
personality.
Well, a little bit.
And his tendency to screw up.
Definitely not the fighting style.
Roguish, right?
Yeah, roguish.
He was roguish.
What was that
Yeah,
guy's name?
Aeolus
Michael
was
Hurst,
kinda
I think was the
roguish.
actor who played Aeolus.
You.
It was the weirdest, mixed martial arts, Greek fighting style. I don't know. It was fun to watch.
You were
Totally
the
off topic.
Hercules Legendary Journey
No
guy.
topic.
This.
What?
Well, this is not off topic.
No. I was about to say, this is totally off topic. But I wonder what it'd be like to have, the father from Family Matters inside a medieval TV show.
Where the
Carl
hell did that
Winslow?
come from?
Yeah.
Carl
Okay.
Winslow.
Okay,
I don't
that-
think they
that
have
is off
cops in medieval TV shows, and that's what he
'Cause
plays
that's
in
all
everything.
he plays, yeah.
This is true.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. He plays a doctor on General Hospital.
Unbelievable.
What's General Hospital?
It's a soap opera. I was on IMDb today.
I'm unfamiliar.
And you were
Oh,
looking up Carl
that's
Winslow on
dangerous.
IMDb.
I was looking up the new Die Hard movie, which brought me to the original Die Hard movie.
Which
Okay.
brought
which
you
brought me
to
to Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow. Okay, that's a segue right there. Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow.
That's a segue.
I'm going to base my next character off Carl Winslow.
So he's gonna be a overweight black cop.
Yeah.
All right.
Who's got a heart of gold and a big family.
Who tries
and is
so
completely
hard.
incompetent.
He's
Hey!
not
He was
completely.
incompetent.
He was incompetent 99% of the time, and then all of a sudden, there'd be a robbery, and he was super cop.
He was super badass,
Well,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got an intimidate of 5.
But you have to find like a nerdy friend who can like make superhero boxes, like turn you into a superhero. Remember when they both became Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
So you mean
do
World
that.
of Darkness Intimidated 5, right?
Yeah, because
Because we got Iron
Dungeons
Heroes
and
characters here.
Dungeons and Dragons, that wouldn't be so
that's not
impressive.
too impressive.
I will see how long we have Iron Heroes characters for.
Well, I
Might be the night.
don't think they're going to survive tonight's game, so we'll see.
Anyway,
Anyway,
They'll make it.
so anyway, thanks to Chris for sending us an email. We appreciate that. It makes us, feel a little better about ourselves sitting here and talking into microphones for no reason
Chris, you're my Carl Winslow for the night.
for tonight.
He's
Um,
basing himself off of you right now.
he's referring
Yeah.
to the Heart of Gold part of
The
it,
Heart of Gold part.
not the other
Exactly.
attributes.
Not the fat black cop part. I mean, you might be. Who knows? I don't really have a description here, but just in case. Heart of Gold. I was actually getting ready to start calling our fans the Faceless because we haven't heard from them at all. And we have like,
You used the plural there.
So
So far, we're only aware of one.
well,
So they are-
statistically,
Well, the faceless could be one person, you know.
that's true.
I
It's
guess
like one
so.
guy.
so right now they are
Now
the,
that's
the
many.
Chris.
Yes,
That's
right
what
now
they
they're
are.
the Chris. Well, statistically, we have like 7,800 listeners right now, but I don't know how accurate that is.
Probably not at all.
How many are bots?
Yeah, no, actually, it's already filtered for bots.
Is it?
Yeah, I
Oh,
checked.
That's pretty good.
Right? That's not bad. So it's probably like 30,000 with about 23,000 bots.
So it's probably people clicking accidentally. Oh wait, nope, no, nope. Looking for nope. Sorry, keep moving.
Can you imagine? This is like, what the fuck
I was
is
looking for the
this?
National Organization of Origami Practice. What's this shit?
If
Anyway,
they really have a podcast, I'd listen to that.
they might. I don't know.
Let's find out.
It'd be pretty hard to describe how to fold stuff without seeing it, though.
Fold
Yeah,
corner
I was gonna
A.
say, you need a video tutorial for
Yeah,
that,
that would
kind
be
of
like a
thing.
Center
YouTube
B.
channel.
No,
Yeah.
not if you really know what you're talking about. Fold the left-hand bottom corner of the paper 33 degrees north.
Hey, that's a really awesomely frustrating management exercise that you can use at a training exercise one day, Rob.
Blind origami.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
That-
like
that's a
a
team building.
Really fun.
icebreaker? Could be an icebreaker.
It'd be hilarious for you, at least.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, let's get into our topic tonight. You know what? Let's do something different. I'm not going to have Mike start us off.
Whoa.
Because every time I do, he's like, I'm starting? Like it's a surprise. So, Alec, you're our guest. You start off tonight.
You know, with just character inspiration.
Character inspiration. So let's talk about, let's
I can
just
talk
start
about
with
my-
my first character.
I can talk about my first character. So I guess my first character was, jeez, I don't even remember.
Oh, and how
I
old
was.
were you when you
Yeah,
made it?
I
Yeah,
was
'cause-
like 14 or something like
That's
that.
Like
context.
60 years ago.
Yeah, I was like 14. I think my first character was named Legolas, hilariously enough. So he was an Elven Ranger.
Really?
Yes, really.
I
Yeah.
mean, he wasn't a
he
human
was a-
king.
He was an Elven Ranger. Yeah, that was my first character.
He wasn't made of little plastic blocks.
No.
Wait. Was he good with the bow?
Yes.
This is Orlando Bloom.
He was pretty good. No, he was. This was long before Orlando Bloom.
That's right. It was 60
Well,
years ago.
Orlando Bloom probably existed, but it was long before he was.
He might
probably
No,
not
that
have.
was before
No,
Orlando
he's a
was
young guy.
Bloom.
No,
He was
no,
born,
he's
I'm
not
sure.
that young.
He's totally younger than you.
He's younger than me, but he's not like 14 years younger than me.
Rob, you're our Google person. You want to look up how old Orlando Bloom is? I want to test this out.
I'm pretty sure he was alive.
He's probably like 5.
For the sake of hilarity.
He may have been. No.
Rob is our version of the Pew Research Center.
Yeah, but that was so my first character ever. So yeah, and, not a lot of originality back then.
He did
Especially,
use a bow.
especially when you're making your first character. Yeah, he did use a bow.
That's what archers do.
Yeah, he was the bow side, but this is second edition. Like
Was
just
there another
original
ranger who
only
also
second
used
edition.
two weapons?
Was there another ranger?
Second ranger. Two weapon ranger.
Where's that skills and powers? No, you had to choose one. I believe you had to choose one.
No, I don't think you had to choose that. Third edition was when they started the
Is that what you had to
trees.
choose? No, second edition.
Second edition was still kits. You could just specialize.
No,
on
yeah,
them.
no. This is before kits.
Before kits. Before skills and powers.
Yeah, before.
Orlando
Wow.
Bloom is actually a lot older than we thought.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah,
How old is he? 40.
36.
yeah, he's older than me,
Dear God, not by
All right.
much.
but by a few years. By a few years.
How many years, Alec?
Huh?
How many years?
By 3 years.
I have to pick on you because when you're not here, I'm the oldest person in the room.
All right, there you go.
That's weird.
I know, right?
That is kind of
I
weird.
really wouldn't think it. I look like I'm 12.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, he was
Gary
the
can't grow facial hair.
prototypical Elven Ranger, and then right after him, I made another Tolkien reference character, which was Durin. I think it was Duros, son of Durin. I made, and I think Durin was one of the dwarves in the Hobbit, I believe, and I kind of just pulled it off of that, just as a lineage kind of thing. So those were my first couple characters, and he was a dwarven, a dwarf with a big giant axe and whatever. So
Stereotypical.
yeah, stereotypical. So yeah, my first couple characters were definitely stereotypical.
Rob?
First character in particular was definitely a pull-off from one of my favorite novel series at the time. Kesdrix, i.e. the name that I still use today online for everything. Any games or online personas or screen names or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So Kesdrix was basically based off of Raistlin from the Dragonlance novels.
Yeah.
I mean, loosely, he doesn't have the hourglass eyes or the golden skin or anything, but yeah, definitely kind of that anti-hero basis, where he was kind of like the neutral evil-esque kind of character who was primarily looking out for himself, but when it came right down to the dire times of need, he stepped it up to take care of the party or the the group of people he was with or supporting at the time. And that was actually a character that I played on AOL in chat rooms when I first started him, because that's how I got my start. And pretty much
our day.
Yeah, I mean that was back in AOL 3.0.
But now, not just names, but personality-wise, how much did you pull from the original character to play with yours?
No, I mean that it was more so personality. I mean, Kesdrix had nothing to do with the character, the name. The name actually comes from a Magic the Gathering card.
Okay.
The name
Is that rabbit thing?
Yes, it is. From
That was a black card, I think, right?
yeah, I want to say it was it Stronghold? No, it had to have been earlier.
No, it was like
Tempest?
Revised. Oh
Okay.
no, it was after revised. Yeah, Ice Age maybe. I don't know.
It was pretty.
One of those,
It was back there.
Yeah.
But the card's name was Keserdrix, but
Yep.
at the time, AOL only allowed for 6 characters or something like that. So I cut the ER out, and that's how I ended up with. And by the way, the Magic the Gathering card, in case anybody is unfamiliar with it, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but
It's only a 20-year-old Magic card.
was basically a rabid bunny rabbit. 4/4 first strike costs somewhere in the neighborhood of about
Why the fuck?
4 or 5 mana to cost.
Yeah, I think. it
And
was
you had to
blue,
sack
yeah.
your
It
own
was weird.
creatures to it, or otherwise it would attack you.
Yeah.
It's a Kesdrix. It's 2 and 2 black. It's a summon
black,
beast. First strike, 4/4, and it says during your upkeep, if your opponents control no creatures, Kesdrix deals 4 damage to you.
Is there any flavor text on that card? Because I have a feeling it would be like Monty Pythonish.
Nope.
No.
No, but it's a badass picture, though.
Yes, it is.
That's-
It's
that's
kind of like a giant
Pretty badass rabbit.
rabbit who's really you don't want to meet in a dark alley.
Yeah, it would tear your face off.
I don't really know any rabbits I would want to meet in a dark alley.
So anyway, I always thought that was a really
Cute
cool
little
card,
fluffy
and that's where I drew the name from.
Mm.
So that's where the name Kesdrix actually comes from. But then the personality of the and character archetype of being kind of like a black magician kind of thing,
Mhm.
Necromantic kind of magics and all, it comes from the Raistlin world. In Dragonlance, he was one of the primary characters who they followed for 9 books or something like that. So that's where I drew my first character's inspiration from. I mean, I've done maybe 1 or 2 since then, but I'd have to think on that for a moment. How about you, Mike?
Well, first I just want to give a shout out to anyone who at random might be listening from the real city of Chaosaron. Rob, not part of the guild that Rob, Phil, Chris, and I had way back in the day.
It was the royal city of Caesaron. We
First
said
of
it.
all,
Caesaron.
I'm the one who made up the fucking word. So, that's because you all started pronouncing it differently.
You mean correctly?
By the way, that was a guild that we created. If anybody was familiar with online AOL role-playing, you had to be a member of a guild to have sanctioned dice for combat. So we made our own guild.
Yep. And we had a pretty huge guild at one point. We had like 200-some members.
I think I logged into one of those for like 5 minutes, like the Red Dragon Inn thing, and I was like, "This is stupid."
Yeah, it was
And then I
pretty
stopped.
crazy.
Well, you
What-
were like 19 then.
I guess.
There were 4.
No, it wasn't. I wasn't 19 then. I was like 16. I think I was 16 when I
Yeah,
got
we were
it.
Well,
13.
Yeah.
where we primarily did our role playing on that was not necessarily so much on the chat rooms, but we had a message board on AOL that was extremely active as well.
That's a lot of writing.
Yeah, we put thousands of pages of writing up on that message board. Chris was actually probably the heaviest author on it. But,
Surprise.
yeah. But definitely me and Mike logged in our fair share of pages, though, too, where we probably had at least, half a dozen posts a day to a dozen?
Yeah.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. Probably at least a half a dozen, and each post being like 2 or 3 pages of text.
My teachers so wish I had done my schoolwork at that level.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing video games and actual role playing probably too much at that point to have time to do that
Well, I mean, this was
or
back...
ambition.
I mean, yes, I had played maybe a session of 2nd edition or 2, but I didn't have like a group to play it with or anything like that. So
It's before we figured out that we were the group to play with.
yeah,
It was like-
Okay.
And it was also like,
I had never met Phil or Chris at this point. I only knew them online.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
and
That's
Chris and I
funny.
still weren't really like hanging out on a regular basis. But my first vampire character, that was like basically the thing that got brought us all together as a group, was a private eye. And then when we restarted the game because we brought in other players, he was a claw wielding gangrel with amnesia.
So you went from Private Eye to that?
Well, from private eye to Wolverine, essentially.
So there you go, Wolverine.
Whose name was Mike because I couldn't think of a name, so they just decided that we wanted to get started, so his name was Mike. I was going to I'm like the worst with names, and back then I was even like as bad as I am with names now, then I was atrocious. So everyone's name was like Firehawk or Tiger Claw or some other stupid bullshit, and
That's pretty badass.
shut the fuck up.
Baby name books. Best thing.
Literally, one of the characters' names was Wyatt. Wyatt Tiger Claw.
Wyatt.
Wyatt.
I don't think you can mix Wyatt and Tiger Claw.
I did it.
If your name was just Tiger Claw, it's pretty badass. If
I-
your name was Wyatt, it could be badass, but Wyatt Tiger Claw kind of sounds like a really bad porno name.
I tried, and everyone just sort of ignored me. Called
Feel the
called
claw.
Mike still.
Aww.
The
So,
tiger. Rawr.
so my early characters were very much comic book based, or my fantasy characters. Honestly, my earliest characters, my AOL characters, were probably my most original in the beginning.
You what?
My earliest characters, my message board characters, were probably the most original of all my characters. I mean, vampire character who wasn't that original, because he's a vampire who played in a band, but this was like real before I ever read any vampire fiction. So considering that I had never actually consumed any of the media that I would have gotten the idea from, it was pretty original.
Yeah, that was Anne Rice, right?
That was Anne Rice, and I was
yeah,
like
full on. He was
12.
guy in
I was
the
not
band.
allowed to
Yeah.
read their Anne Rice.
Mhm.
So there was that. And then I had a 7'2" blue elf that could turn to a pixie. Not really sure how that happened.
Changeling?
Not really sure how that
What?
happened.
Like what?
What?
That was
What was-
the magical creations of online role playing.
You could just make shit up.
Oh,
You could do whatever
Right.
you wanted.
which is probably why I said this is
I was
stupid.
I was I was
Rather
unique
than-
in that I played a normal human for a long
There's
time.
no rules.
Like
in
I was like the
this.
only one in any of the chat rooms.
Who was human?
Yes.
Well, so
Like, we're
describe your
half dragons, half
character.
vampires, or half whatever, half of whatever. A lot of halves.
They're like, describe your character. Like,
Three.
I'm a guy.
Well,
That
But that's the reason why. That's the reason why. That's the reason by the time I got to regular role playing, when people would tell me they were playing a half dragon in D&D, I was like, yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah.
You know,
It's been done to death.
done to death.
I think all new players, when they see this, like the systems like 4th edition come out and Dragonborn is like a core race, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be a fucking dragon." Or Phil.
that was Phil.
Like, I'm gonna be a fucking dragon.
he
That's
really
it.
should have gotten that T-shirt.
I'm a fucking dragon.
Yeah, should we want that T-shirt?
All right, let's
say-
cut you off for a second. Zach, what about you? Where are your characters coming from?
There's 2 of them that I can actually clearly pinpoint where they came from. The first one I ever created, I called him Zorus the Dark. Yeah, and I still use that tag sometimes.
The Dark.
And yes, he was also from Dragonlance, Raceland.
He was a badass
Aw.
character.
He was just so good.
It's something
He
in
was-
common.
Yes. Oh, we're like
how
brothers
much
now.
how much of the Dragonlance novels have you read?
A serious amount.
Okay, cool. I mean, like through all the way from the prequels to the when
Read all-
basically Raceland's going to destroy the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Like Soul Forged and the whole nine.
Yeah.
Spoilers, man. Spoilers.
Oh come on.
20 years later, man.
Read all the seasons.
I haven't
and
read
then
those yet.
I didn't read all the.
Once they
with their
rebooted the
children.
world, that's when I stopped reading.
I've only read like
Go to the
3 or
world.
4
Yeah.
D&D books.
I
I've
read like
never
the
read a
first
D&D
2
book.
with their kids,
You've
and then
never
I
read a
kind of
book.
petered out into like
I've
Robert
read 2
Jordan
books.
and everything else.
Yeah.
But then
You don't even read the
That's when I moved over to Forgotten Realms.
I just know the
Yeah,
rules.
yeah, I
I
read
just absorb them.
a bunch
I
of
sleep
those
with the
too.
book under my pillow
actually
and it just
have-
absorbs.
Did you ever read Pages
Huge
of Pain?
bag at home.
I still haven't. No.
Oh, man.
You gotta leave it here.
Pages of Pain,
I
best
care not
D&D
to
book.
admit how much in the way of Forgotten Realms I've read.
Yeah, about that.
So you guys are pulling a lot of your character out of
Yeah, well,
Fantasy
Forgotten Realms
novels.
book.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
no.
books.
specifically
You know-
D&D books.
Dragonlance.
Yeah, specifically D&D books. Yeah.
Dragonlance. I pulled another one from for your game. I pulled Tasselhoff Burrfoot for my alchemist. Yeah, the personality only.
That's quite a name.
Tasselhoff had a fucking top knot and everything.
Yeah,
too.
he was a Kender.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
tying
Kenders.
Yeah.
No.
He
not-
tied ropes.
No, he did tie ropes. A top knot. There's a hairstyle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He
No
was
idea what you're talking about.
By the
Very
way, there was this
careful.
guy.
Jared doesn't know how to read, apparently.
There was this guy at work today who was like talking in Ebonics, like super rapper style, but at the same time he was talking about the newest Ari Salvatore book. So he was like, "You should have read this motherfucking shit. Driss couldn't even touch this bitch. He had to be taught how to kill her." I was like, "What is going on right now? It's like worlds colliding.
Just goes to show you, nerd transcends all.
Nerd transcends all. It was great."
Nerds are becoming popular. Well,
Mm,
at least
no,
our
we-
medium art is.
Yeah, we're becoming media whores. Is what we're becoming.
Completely irrelevant.
As
Loudest
we
voice.
do a podcast.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, at least it's us doing it and not like Chuck Lorre.
Chuck Lorre's hilarious.
He is, but he's definitely capitalizing on nerds.
Yeah.
Making a lot of money doing it.
He's a nerd himself.
I wish I was making that money doing it.
He's a
I'm
nerd
not.
himself.
You have to be cleverer.
Buy a NOOP mug.
Yeah, that can't happen.
By the way,
or underwear,
we do-
whatever the heck else you know, stuff on.
There's thongs, onesies. Our logo's on everything right now.
pickle slings, works.
Oh,
Coincidentally,
Pair of tweezers.
Come on, I segued you there. Plug it.
we just did. We have
Well, I mean,
gear.
like, is there like a specific link or something they gotta plug? Hit.
No, if you haven't noticed, our fans don't really go online. They're just kind of like listen on iTunes and Podcatcher, and
Well, apparently we have a website.
we do. I thought I told you about it at some point, Rob.
You
Rob,
had a
what-
website?
Why don't you tell us what the website is, Rob?
I don't know, but I saw it the other day though. You had it on your computer.
You
Oh,
seriously don't
dear.
know we have a website?
I've been there once.
You have a username that you made.
I
Wait a
do.
I don't think I
did you
have
make
a
a nerd
username.
cred? I think you made a nerd cred.
I
Right?
He
sent
did.
it. I sent it to somebody. I didn't
I
actually
put
sell.
it on it.
He sent it over to Mike.
I think I need a username.
You don't already have one?
I don't think so.
No, he doesn't.
You don't have to whisper that part.
Our,
Especially since you're whispering into the microphone.
our website is www.noordinaryobsession.com. All one word.
This is a secret between all of us.
Between us and you on the internet.
And the fan.
And the fan.
The fan.
Chris, please go to the website. In the comments. There's all this writing on it.
There's a lot of articles on there. There's like at least 60-something articles about role-playing games on there.
Yeah, a lot of it was
Mostly
written by
thanks to
Jay.
Jay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Jay is.
Jay's a crazy
Jay's
He's
a
a
writer.
monster.
prolific writer.
Props to Jay on that
I was
one.
gonna say crazy writer, but prolific works too.
Well, yeah,
I mean,
that's a
that's a
bigger word.
vocabulary
Whipping out those
word.
SAT words right
I put a post up yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, it's a review of an anime.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that one.
Nice.
There was a picture of breasts.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's the most distracting character design ever to be put into anime.
Exposed breasts.
No, just breasts.
That's for the next one.
That's normal.
This is
for
just
anime.
the picture.
So
Mike
check
decided
out
to
the
put up.
post if you want to see it next time.
Oh man.
The
Well,
next one's gonna be Redline, and that's an interesting movie.
let's. You know what? Since Rob's trying to pimp the website he doesn't know about, let's take the opportunity to actually tell people where to go to find us.
Mike
Because
just did.
Well,
did
not
already.
just the blog. The blog links to the YouTube page, links to the Podbean site, links to the Twitter, links to the Facebook. So, Facebook, we actually have No Ordinary Obsession as our username on Facebook now.
Do we?
So yeah, so people should go on there and like us because that's like cool. You're cool if you do that.
You can show that you actually like us by liking us.
Yeah, and it helps us because then like we actually have a bigger reach to get to more people, so more people can like us and listen to us and send us fan mail.
We're like a
All you gotta do is
disease.
click a button.
It's a little like button.
Or comments on the Facebook page,
Oh, yeah, do
Comments?
that,
which is
totally.
even easier
Yeah.
than fan mail.
Facebook on us, Twitter. Mike's on Twitter all the time.
I'm on Twitter all the time.
I've been on Twitter's pretty much all the time now, but I'm on my username usually, not the Noop one.
I'm on both at the same time.
Notice if I post on the Noop one, I actually put like a little J before it, unless it's like an update about like, oh, our show's out. If like, I have something to say, I'm like, just so you know, it's me and not Mike. 'Cause it's usually Mike.
It's usually me rambling, let's be honest.
Yeah, and that's what it's at @no_obsession.
Yep.
We should change that. There's an underscore in there. Why is there an underscore in there?
Because you know why? You're gonna make fun of me for this. But if you look at the O's, it looks like the flatline face.
Is that why? So
Yeah.
you're forcing people to hold the shift key because we want it to be a little smiley face.
Yeah.
It's not really smiling. It's more like
it's a flat
like
line
meh.
face.
meh, meh.
The man face.
That is
Meh.
terrible.
It's also because I don't think No Obsession was available.
No ordinary obsession.
That was
That's too long.
That's really long.
No
There's
ordinary.
gotta be
That's too many
something.
characters
That was
for
only
Twitter.
half the tweet.
Yeah, that's too many characters.
Did you try Noop?
Yeah.
Damn.
What's a
I
tweet?
tried to buy Noop.com, and someone wants $30,000 for the name.
Really?
Yep. I was like, all right, buddy. You keep reaching for that rainbow. I'm gonna go ahead and just use my regular website.
One day there'll be a company that is a technology company, and they're going to come out with a company and a logo and everything. And they'll be, oh, we should buy the .com.
Yeah, right.
It'll happen.
$30,000 for a parked web page. Out of their minds. I'm sure someone buys those things though. They wouldn't be
Whitehouse.com. Do you know how much money they got for that site?
for whitehouse.com.
Yeah.
Someone had the balls to register that.
Yeah.
It's
And they made it to a gay porn site.
wait, gay. I wish that was straight.
No, I'm pretty sure it was gay.
Well, for you, it would be straight since that's what you're into.
Oh.
Burn unit. Anyone? No.
Inappropriate.
No, inappropriate.
Aw.
That's only like a first degree anyway.
Yeah.
It's only a sunburn right there.
Anyway,
So what are we talking
character
about?
Inspiration.
Yeah, back to that.
Who we up to? Zach.
I said mine.
That's right.
You just
Jared.
went Jared.
So then me. My first character actually was a character I designed on my own. I used to get bored in school and start drawing random things. So I created an alien, and I was learning something about science at the time. So I named him Roy, after Roy G. Biv for the rainbow.
Okay.
And when I made my first role-playing character, I named him that. Eventually, he became the God of Light, which is kind of ironic. But that aside, every character I've had since then, I think I've pulled from something else. That's the only original character I had, that personality.
So only the
and
first
everything.
one.
Yeah, that was it. Everything else well, actually no, it was the first couple, but the couple characters I played after that, I don't really remember.
How many of your characters were based off Batman?
None of them actually.
Well, oh, you had. Oh, it was an NPC, wasn't it?
What do you mean?
Wayne. Or was that Glenn? I think that was Glenn.
That was Glenn. No,
Yeah,
the only
he
Wayne
did
I
that.
played was a computer nerd.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
A really awkward computer nerd.
Definitely not Batman.
Totally not Batman.
Physically incapable.
But I've like the most recent character I'm playing, I pulled from Bleach. I based his personality off of Byakuya.
Yep,
Based
I
on
can
another
see that.
character off Kapachi.
For me, no. I based one off of Cloud from Final Fantasy once. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure everybody has.
Yeah.
But
No,
actually,
not everybody
I
has.
actually,
Mm.
I haven't cared.
I actually directly, I was
Because
just,
that game sucks.
I was
What
just
was
like,
his name? What was his name?
Cumulus. I was
Really
like, when I
now.
make this character, I'm gonna make Cloud, and I just announced this is Cloud, but I made him
Hello,
6 foot
Cloud.
tall and buff. I think he was second edition. He had a strength score 1800.
Was he?
Yeah, he was ridiculous.
He had a big sword.
His sword was 7.5 feet long. It was kind of stable.
1800. How the hell do you get to 1800? Nobody rolls a 00 on their strength roll.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think you rolled it.
No, well, no. Actually, originally I had something
Or was that
just
skills
under
and
that.
powers? Was it point by?
I don't know. No, that was one of Glenn's custom games.
Yeah.
So I probably was able to buy it somehow.
Yeah.
I know I rolled ridiculously well for him, though. He was awesome.
That's why we don't roll.
Yeah, rolling sucks.
Well, rolling never turns out well for some people.
Ahem.
Staring at Alec.
Yeah. No, I don't roll for characters anymore, and I'm happy.
Well, most game systems have done away with that just in general
Yes.
anyway. So
Thankfully.
Well, it kind of sucks when you have like a bunch of characters with ridiculously good scores, and,
And
the
then
one
you
guy
have
rolls
like
a
2
3.
8s.
Yeah. I've had an 8. It's not fun.
I had 2. Played that character for a long time.
But he was a pretty kick-ass character, though.
He was really stupid.
I think one of the oddities of my gaming career is that my NPCs are far more original than my PCs. Especially
Yeah.
lately.
That
My
is true.
NPCs have like a defined personality. They have weaknesses and strengths, and my PCs generally are pretty bland unless they're in Jay's games for some reason. Because I based my most recent character in Jay's game, Colt, off the Marlboro Man.
Yep.
Like what I would picture the Marlboro Man to be. This like swaggering cowboy, like charismatic cowboy.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. That sentence. I based him off the Marlboro Man.
Does he have cancer?
No, he can cure cancer, though.
Basically, I looked at the Marlboro Man picture. I was like, I could totally be a character like this, and I just went from there.
Is his voice pure testosterone?
It's pure awesome.
Isn't the Marlboro Man based off of like Clint Eastwood, basically?
Probably.
Yeah, and that's basically what he's like. He's like
Kind of.
Clint Eastwood in the
John
Marlboro Man.
Wayne.
John Wayne, yeah, more John Wayne.
More
I'd
John
say.
Wayne.
John Wayne, yeah.
That's way before my time.
And then my other character for Jay's game was really complicated, actually. He was a Promethean, which means that they're all Prometheans' eventual mission is to become human. Or at least that's like how the basic mission is for most Prometheans.
Most of
And
them. Yeah.
My character started off as like a super man slut, and then adopted Christian anarchy, the philosophy promoted by Tolstoy, and then like became human. It was kind of a weird arc. I was reading War and Peace. Something happened.
Well, there you go.
Something happened in my brain.
Do you think that might have influenced you a little bit?
Yeah, that and the whiskey, but
Hmm.
War and Peace definitely had part of it.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about inspiration, we really should talk about alcohol. Because I think alcohol inspires characters during the game. Rob had a
Man.
character for my game whose sole purpose was to be drunk in life and in the game. But
that was tough if I had to work the next morning.
but you know what? It worked really well because like
Which one was this?
Rob's a
Our
smart
most
guy.
recent game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like I ran the mage game. Mike challenged me on air to run it, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
ran
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It was decent. It wasn't the most terrible game I've run.
It was pretty good.
So, like, Rob wanted to play a stupid character. So he played a bouncer who was drunk all the time. And in order to get in character before the game, he would drink. And it was the only way
Oh,
that
that's
Rob
dangerous.
could not be intelligent in character. So he found a way to dumb himself down.
I've seen Rob play a stupid character before that, though.
I have played stupid characters
really
before.
stupid.
However, this was a really well... Like, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I played him really well as far as being dumb goes, and definitely drinking helped.
If I allowed him to talk over the other PCs in the game, he would derail the game every time.
Every single session.
Like, we would just
Every
have...
sentence he spoke would be like, "What?"
Yeah, it was just a friggin' nightmare having him in the game. But it was awesome. It worked out really well.
What do you mean derail? Are we going on a train?
Well, exactly. That's
Things like
exactly
that.
the
I
kind
don't
of
want to
crap
go
that
on a
came out of
train
it.
tonight. Only if you're buying the tickets, though, because I got no money. When I do have money, I'm going to buy an 18-pack. If you want, you can have a few. You know what? We should play a game of beer pong. Like,
They actually did
That was-
play beer pong.
that was literally
Yeah.
like every single session.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he thought he was bulletproof, too. He was too stupid to understand shields.
he used magic reflexively, pretty much, and never bothered to really learn how to utilize any of his skills, but just would go ahead and use it. And he was actually
Obermos?
Thisrus.
Thisrus,
Oh,
yes,
Thisrus, okay.
so life magic.
I still don't know
And,
how to pronounce that.
and,
Thyrsus?
Thyrsus.
Thirsty.
Thyrsus.
So yeah, he honestly thought he was bulletproof because of the life armor. Getting shot with bullets and all, and not taking damage, and yeah. And it helped that he was also like huge, literally. So like
Yeah.
as far as health levels go, I mean,
8
You
feet
get an
tall,
extra one. Yeah,
5
extra,
feet wide.
Extra level.
yeah, I mean he was stamina 4
Oh wow.
and huge.
At one point, I think
That's
he had
like 10 health
10 health
levels.
levels.
No,
Yeah,
at one
that's
point he
crazy.
had like 13 or 14 health levels.
Oh, because if he bumped his,
Yeah.
if he was able to, yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let's change gears a little bit. Let's talk more about like where to take inspiration from for characters. Like now that we're, not just ripping off Lord of the Rings or The Matrix. Now that we're,
See,
Yeah,
I've
'cause
still,
we don't really do that often. Like the last time I ripped off a character was purposely because I wanted to rip off a character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, like
I
when we
think-
were younger, we did that.
I did that not too long ago either.
purposefully,
I've ripped off like there was this FBI hostage rescue team kind of guy that I ripped off from I think the book was
CSI Miami.
actually no, I looked it up. The book is Last Man Standing by David Baldacci, I think it was. And that Webb London character, and I just thought it was just a really cool character, and it was our D20 Modern game.
Yep.
I believe. Did you ran that?
Yeah, that was the first game I
Yes.
ever ran.
Yeah, you ran it
3 sessions of it.
for only a couple sessions, but I really wanted to play this character, but yeah,
That was-
he was just like just this kind of badass ex sniper kind of guy.
Wait, that was the first game you ever ran?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he was running that back in
Why,
the Holtzville
surprised?
apartment.
Yeah, no, I didn't know you weren't a GM before us.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
That's the reason why I stopped. So I was like,
And you had the best line in that one. Do you remember the line?
The one random line.
The
that
one,
you
no,
said.
the one random line. Do you remember? Do you believe in magic?
Do you believe in
You
magic?
should.
You should.
That was
good.
the best.
Yeah, that was the best.
You know what? That's actually that's something that we talk about though. Is game inspiration. Like I steal a lot of ideas from just random movies.
Yeah.
For games.
Well,
And I think that's what we all
one
do.
of the reasons I avoided a lot of fiction writing and certain movies at first was because you and Glenn kept going and talking about, oh, this guy based on this movie, or 13th Warrior, or all this random
Yeah.
crap, and I was like, I don't want to know what's going to happen in these games. I'm not going to watch that movie. Like, I don't want to know who these characters are. I'm not going to read that book.
I don't usually pull elements out that directly. Like
Glenn did.
when I ran my first mage game, there was the Gibson Society, and the Gibson Society, the cabal itself was named after the works of William Gibson. Like,
Yeah, but
everything
that's-
was named after.
Yeah, but that was part of it. It was just that's where they got their inspiration from.
Yeah.
So you had inspiration, meta inspiration in the game.
Yeah.
But as NPCs, you can do that though.
Yeah, I mean you can do
It
this
makes
PCs
perfect
too.
sense. Yeah.
Especially if you're coming up with you're playing mage and you're coming up with a full-on cabal and you want to have a definite kind of something that holds you together.
I had so many good cabals in that game and so many bad cabals in that game.
It's true.
No, you had some ridiculously, awesomely terrible cabals in that game.
The Bloods, the Wolfpack,
Oh god.
Light and sound.
Light and sound.
Light and Sound,
Like, yeah.
Extreme Light and Sound.
Extreme Light and
Where
Sound.
Light and
One
Sound.
character was MC Extreme, the other two were MC Sound and Light.
Oh, you had that baker. Who is that baker? He used to make like tasks.
Do you know that actually started as a PC? I wanted to make that, and actually that's actually the only character I've ever based off anime.
Yes.
What was he
Your
based
extreme
off of?
baking anime. Yeah.
Oh no.
Knocked out in Japan.
Don't get Mike started on that. Please don't get Mike started on that.
But yeah,
It's a good show.
so I think yeah, just fiction, especially
Well, where to get
getting
your...
inspiration from. Think about things that you've read beforehand, because a lot of people they do a lot of reading before they ever start.
I'll
role-playing
be
stuff.
honest with you. Every time I read a high well, I guess what I call high fantasy novel, but like
Yeah.
a true Forgotten Realm, a bit D&D based
That's not fantasy.
novel. I always I want to run a game like after every single time.
You should.
Every single time I read one of
Actually,
those.
no,
I
not
wanna
anymore.
run.
I don't care anymore.
And then he falls
Yeah.
asleep and wakes up and be like, "What the hell was I thinking?"
Yeah, pretty much. It's intimidating
Run a
to,
game, it's
to
fun.
run a high fantasy game.
It's really
It
not.
is.
It's not.
It's so freaking hard.
I find it
High
so much
fantasy?
easier to run a fantasy game than a modern game.
Oh,
Yes.
I have the exact opposite experience.
That's
it
a
doesn't
topic
matter
for
where you
another debate.
go.
Thing is, in like, all right, let's say we have a game like you had, like set in New York City, right?
Topic for another debate.
I can screw that. We'll talk about this now. I could go on there and I could be like Google Maps and look at something, and be like, that's not where that is. You're wrong, and that does happen. In a fantasy game, I can just be like, yeah,
What
this
happens
is
when Alex here?
this is north. It's just north. What's north? I don't know. You guys
Here,
don't know.
I
No one
made
knows
this
yet.
map. This is my area.
Or people are like, oh, well, what's
I know
south
it's
of
there.
this city? No one goes there. I don't know.
You don't know.
You don't have that knowledge.
Yeah, but with New York City, it could just be like, it's on this street at this place.
Or you could be like, I'm bored. The Rockaways are gone.
You know what's really sad about that? The Rockaways are gone.
It happened like
Wow.
7 years later.
Hurricane Sandy.
No joke. I had you guys go to Rockaways because that's where my grandmother's beach house was.
And then you
Is-
decided to
was-
destroy it in game.
Was, and now it is off its foundation and a total disaster. But we sold it beforehand.
Well
Bonus.
Ah, good move.
Yeah, right.
Very good move.
Well planned.
I found
We're playing the
for
hurricane.
my current characters, I don't pull one character from any one source. It's just more of like a compilation of all ideas from everywhere. You know, I've read so freaking much, and I've seen so many TV shows and movies and everything like that. It's just influenced me in all these subtle ways. And I found that I've even pulled little details, quirks that I like from other characters that other people have played. Like from previous games, I found that I liked one's idea, so I pulled that off and inserted into my own character in a new game. So it's like, you know,
So straight up thievery.
I'm
absolutely.
gonna bring Bakers back.
Well, if you're going to run that mage game again, you can totally bring them back.
Bakers. Sorry, you need to interrupt Zach. I'm bad.
Thanks, jerk.
You know, call it how it is. Call it how it is.
Just
There's a hole in my shoe.
call it how it is.
There's a hole
In your head.
shoe.
Yeah.
And that
probably
was
get a new
relevant enough
To warrant
to continue to interrupt Zach. Like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but hey, there's a hole in my shoe.
ADHD, I can't help it. So you stole some aspects of
Oh,
the
absolutely.
characters.
There was one I was playing in a I don't even remember, probably a D&D version of it, and I was a priest, but there was another guy in there who was a magic detective, and I was like, that's pretty sweet. He got to go out every once in a while, and the DM gave him like little tidbits that his informants gave him information-wise.
It's like a
And then-
Dresden.
Kinda. And then I went in a different game 2-3 years later. I made a psionic detective, and I kind of had my own. I forget what they are. The little jewel, psionic jewels.
Yep.
I had him be my informant, which in turn, the GM took me aside and said, "This is what your familiar learned," and then because I like that idea of just going off and actually having separate gameplay.
You do like that idea of going off and having separate gameplay.
Well, yeah, because it's like,
I know somebody else that likes that.
why? If I learn something,
Don't look at me.
they shouldn't learn anything
I've
unless
completely
I tell
gone the
them
opposite
to them.
route.
Oh, really?
Yes, I
This
have.
campaign has
Same
been very
thing.
inclusive.
Wow.
I actually
I'm
know
surprised.
5 other people who like that. That's besides the point.
Hey,
No, actually, I've taken a full, complete 180 in the fact that I try and actually get everybody involved as much as possible now.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to-
It must be because I'm not here.
we need
It's
to have
because I
more
don't have you to bounce off. I'm
conversations
sorry.
between Aeolus and Way. We need to have more conversation facility between Aeolus and Way.
Aeolus is talkative. Way is not.
Hey, Way's been doing a lot of talking recently, okay?
Yes. Who can I stab now? Who will fight me?
But he's saying it out loud instead of thinking it this time.
Well, there you go.
It's a step in the right direction.
Aeolus
hope
is
so.
thinking, who shall I sleep with tonight?
No, there's been a lot of
Who is
sex
my
in
next
this game,
informant?
Mike.
There has been a lot of sex in this game, more so than usual.
Mike's been watching HBO shows, and he thinks that, like, Ancient Rome is nothing but orgies all the time.
Mike's been watching too much Spartacus.
Basically, yeah. I mean, like, I was like, I need to prep for this game. I want it to be based off Rome. I'm gonna watch Spartacus. And Rome and Spartacus are both a lot of sex.
These are the most accurate representations I can find.
Well, everything else was kind of boring.
It was ancient
There's not
Rome.
enough sex in
It was
everything
kind
else.
of boring.
Well, no, I watched several documentaries on the technology. Like, this is the level of prep I go into for games. It's probably the other reason why fantasy campaigns don't work out well for me. Is I watched a lot of the Engineering the Empire from History Channel. I watched the special on King Arthur after that King Arthur movie came out. I watched both Rome and Spartacus, but I also watched The Eagle, which was a okay movie. And
Was it? You
I've
did a
never
serious
heard
amount
of
of
It's on
research.
Netflix, isn't it? Legal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
What?
You did actually a lot of research for this.
Yes, I also read history books.
Fun.
He's a librarian.
Yeah.
He lives around books. That's what he does.
Mike
Yeah.
has so many extra books that there is an entire new bookshelf over there, like almost full of random books that Mike left here for months. And that's about 5-6% of your collection.
Yeah. My dad actually, because I had left 4 or 5 duffel bags of books at my parents' house,
Why do you keep books in duffel bags?
I was going to move them, and there was the easiest way to move them.
Please don't tell me you chucked them.
No, he
So you
donated
bought
them to
duffel
veterans,
bags
which
just
I
for
could
books?
actually feel like okay about.
Alright, at least that's not so bad. It's
It
against
still
my
makes me
code.
sad to know they're gone, but
Yeah.
There's a bunch of empty bags over there that were full of books.
I tell you, I donated 1 bag of books once, and I've regretted it ever since because I donated the one
Never
fucking
give away
book
books.
that I was looking for.
Yeah, never get rid of books.
Yeah, you never know if you're going to need, like, firewood.
No, I was in the middle of the
No, you have
second
to
book of a
collect them.
trilogy. And I was like, son of a bitch, how did I give away that one book?
Well, see, I make it easier by just not reading.
I suppose it does make things simpler, but it's too late for me. It's
You're
too
more
late.
of a
Save
man
yourself.
when you have bookshelves that are filled with books that you've read.
I do have bookshelves full of books, and they're my wife's. So how manly is that?
I have bookshelves.
You have the
of books I
same
haven't
hobby
read.
as my wife, man.
I have a stack of books that I haven't read. They're from Borders still.
Dwayne's a
I've
librarian
read
as
most
well.
of the books I have on my
Yeah,
bookshelf.
but she had stacks of books before she was a
Except for
librarian.
the school books. I don't really read all
So did
those.
I. That's why we became librarians.
That's probably got something to do with it.
We were like, oh, I love books. Look at me surrounding myself with books. I got so many books. Look at the books. Like, oh, where else can we
Actually-
find people who love books?
Actually, no. You guys were both in, like, miserable career tracks, and that's why you became librarians.
Yeah, that too.
You're like, life is not
Case
working.
in
We
point.
need something else.
Hit the reset button.
Books.
And now I get to walk through my stacks and be like, books.
Wafting in the scent. Breathe it
And when I need someone to shelve something, I'm just like, here, shelve this. I walk away. I guess that's different from Borders, though, right, Zach?
in. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Randomly.
Zach works for me. He shelved a lot of books.
Yeah.
Until we started talking about gaming, and then...
And then
Mike was
didn't
like,
have to shelve as many
all right, you
books."
don't need to work anymore. You come
Yeah.
talk to me. You guys, go shelve those books.
No.
then,
more
then
work
I
got
brought him
done.
back to sort with me so we could talk while we sorted. So I made everyone else shelve.
Yes.
So you unwittingly created like a caste system in your store where gamers were on top. Everybody else was below you.
It may
Well,
not have
to
been
be- to be
unwittingly.
fair,
Hey, that's
To be
how
fair,
it should
Zach,
be.
Zach was already ranking near the top before I knew he was a gamer, because the rest of them just weren't very smart.
I hope none of them are listening. They probably aren't.
They probably the people who would listen are the people who I thought were smart.
Kudos.
Way to cover your ass.
So going back to inspiration for characters.
Back
and all.
onto topic.
Manage your characters.
Huh?
Manage your characters. Leaders.
Yep, Rob, have you not figured out yet that our like nightly thesis for these shows is just a generic thing we're gonna drift away from 1,000 times?
Well, actually, I had something back on topic as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
go ahead.
Let's hear it.
Please go right ahead.
Tough that.
Well, no, I mean, as much as everyone here is going to probably hate me for it,
Uh-oh.
Yep, hate you already.
We haven't had a
Um,
hate machine in a few weeks.
well, sometimes I like thinking about what kind of stats I want to do before I do the character.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I think there's something wrong with that.
There's not. Why?
Well, make
See, let the argument ensue.
I want to build a strong character. Okay, let me come up with a character archetype that would fit with strong.
Well, there you go. You want to be able to strong character. You came up with a strong before you came up. I think I want to have an level 18 strength. Oh, let's make him be strong.
What does strong mean?
No, well,
It's
Well,
role
no.
well,
playing.
elaborate. Let Rob elaborate.
Well, to be fair, it is more like wanting to play a strong. Basically, I choose kind of because we've at this point made so many characters in our career that I kind of need to look back and be like, okay, well, last game I played a social character. Game before that, I played a mental character. You know what? I'm due up for a physical character. Do a physical character this time, and then I start going from there. So as opposed to just utilizing different, aspects of the system and being able to use different, feat trees or being able to use different, abilities or skills or arcanum or whatever the case may be. Sometimes I decide what kind of path I want to go down that way as far as the actual system goes, and so this way the system will help me build my character backwards almost.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as, yes, when it comes right down to you learning how to create characters that are going to be good, fleshed-out characters, they always tell you come up with your concept first and then put your dots or your points in place based off your concept. But sometimes, after you've been playing for a long-ass time, there's different skills or points that you want to be able to utilize that you haven't utilized in the past. And then you can work backwards towards the concept and figure out, what would be a cool idea that will work and get you down that kind of tree that you want to do.
I'm okay with that because you know what? As much as I love to say that I come up with the concept first, if I think about the concept too much beforehand, I try to in my head, the story is more than the stats can possibly justify.
Yeah, so most of my characters, I don't know what they're like. I do like Rob. I mean, I did kind of similar ways. Is okay.
Surprise,
This is kind of the direction.
Yin and yang.
This is kind of the direction I want to move in the system, and I don't like. I have a basic idea of when I'm making them of how they're gonna kind of be, but I don't know how they're gonna turn out until I play them for like 2 sessions.
And then the finishing touch is always he looks at Rob's character and goes, "How can I make this character come in direct comp with Rob's character?"
Not
And then
true.
Rob's finishing touch is,
No.
"How
We
can I
don't
make this
actually
character go in
we
direct
don't actually
conflict with
look
Al's
at them
character?"
first. We don't look at
No,
we
but
don't
that's
plan
the
it that
problem
way.
is they
That
don't
just
plan it, and
happens.
that's why it comes to be. Because
It
if
just
they
happens.
work together, they could make characters that would break your game. So just
You
be
don't want us
glad
to do
they
that.
don't do that.
You don't want us
Dude,
to work
my
together.
games are broken as they are.
See, I don't
I could do
really...
that by myself. I don't need Alec for that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Snap.
Gauntlet is thrown.
He stands on his
Oh,
own.
snap. Let's hope you roll over an 18 tonight.
Jeez. Well, I think I've done my
I
characters
knew you were
both
going to do a
ways.
defense at 30. I knew it when you were asking our
What are you
attack
talking about?
values.
How do you know that's what I was talking about? How do you know it's not a DC thing?
Yeah, because... Yeah.
Huh? Saving
Hope
throws?
you
Yeah,
roll
is your
over
armor
18.
class 30? Is that what I heard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're
That's
going
gonna
up
suck.
against.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Less than 50% hit chance on a 4-story tall troll.
Don't worry, I know how to beat it.
You all
my
need to
God.
wish us luck.
Anyway.
That's kind of a. Yeah.
I find that I do my characters both ways.
Oh, you're doing both
Yeah,
ways, huh?
both ways, baby. No, I've gone in and I've done it stats first, and sometimes it works out easier because, like Mike was saying, I've come up with character concepts where the stats are not ever going to match up to my expectations
Oh,
of this
yeah.
character.
Yep. Hey, I had a character that I wanted to be a paladin back in 2nd edition,
Mhm.
and I didn't roll well enough to be a paladin, so I kind of cobbled one together out of skills and powers.
Yeah.
I made a cavalier.
Yeah.
Who never had a mount.
No, well, you couldn't. You were in my imagination, and I didn't imagine horses.
I guess so.
So that's how it
That's
worked
how it
out.
works.
That's how it worked out. Oh man.
Yeah, but sometimes that's what you have to do is you have to have the stats before you can think about what you want to do.
Yeah. There's no one way to come up with a character. Anywhere you draw inspiration from, fucking use it. Just however you put your character together, do it. Don't follow someone else's method. Just how it comes together.
Honestly,
it
though,
comes
getting
together.
started, if you're a new player coming into the realm of tabletop role-playing, I mean, sometimes it's easiest just to take from a known source.
Yeah, take it from fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take it from fiction, be it a movie or a book or a comic, whatever the case may
Yeah,
be.
Just try
loosely
to-
basic.
Every time, okay, take a base fiction character like, let's say, Batman, for example.
I mean, make some tweaks.
And then
change it.
every single time you go to plot something down, like, okay, he's an orphan because his parents died. Instead, make it so because his parents left him. Or maybe because his sister died, and that's the reason why he's pissed off at criminals.
Yeah.
Or you could just make it exactly the
I
same.
can't say criminals. I can't say not
Anonymous.
or criminals.
or just make it
Anonymous
exactly the
criminals.
same and just
Anonymous.
figure out how,
I didn't.
Mike's gonna blow up.
or just make the character exactly the same, if you want, and just play it as how you think that would react. Like
Yeah,
how
when
that
you're a
character
new
would
role
react.
player, there's no shame in just copying,
Why not? Yeah.
photocopying a character.
Steal shamelessly. We all have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us.
And then eventually you don't want to play those characters anymore, and you make
Yep.
your own.
Yep, exactly.
You get your experiences and you move on.
Or you go full circle and start taking out of shows again, because
Yeah, where we
Like, I
did
spent
the Indiana Jones character.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, when you were Indiana Jones and I was MacGyver?
Yes.
That was an
Oh,
awesome
that
game.
Was, no, it was terrible.
That was an
Come on, that
awesome
was
game.
awesome.
I
That
had
was,
a great-
we were very experienced role players at that point,
Listen.
and we decided to play Indiana Jones and MacGyver as
That was
a
terrible.
cabal.
I lost
Oh, I
3
hated
houseboats in that campaign. 3.
Like 5 sessions.
It was only 5 sessions. I lost 3 houseboats.
I missed a lot of those sessions.
Yeah, well, that's why we were doing
Well,
it. It was
that's
like a
why-
filler game.
Yeah, they were filler games.
It was a good time, though.
I was not there for that.
No.
No, this is before your time. You were still a gaming embryo.
This is PZ. It's Pre-Zach.
DBZ.
What? No, different show. By the way, we need to do a show about like TV soon. I don't know how we've avoided it this long.
Yeah, we need
We
a
haven't done a show about anime either.
No,
Nah,
well,
that's a good reason why
Rob
we
doesn't
haven't-
really
we-
watch anime,
Not really.
So
There's a couple series
We
that I
should
like.
have.
so he might be
like,
quiet. So maybe we can do that.
Like
Oh, shut up.
one day we should have like we have a serious amount of time. We should just force him to watch a whole lot of anime and then ask him questions about them.
We're
Dude,
adults. we don't have
I've done
serious
like
stuff
full
to tell.
marathons where I've watched the entire series of Neon Genesis before. I mean, it's not like it would be
Okay,
first.
well,
I
that's a
mean,
good one.
Alright, so
Well,
there
that's
we go.
enough of a clusterfuck of an anime that we can talk about that for like 6 hours. So that works.
Yeah, we get really deep into that shit.
And I've watched that whole series at least 4 or 5
I want to
times
make a
through.
character like Shinji Ikari
The new one?
who goes around masturbating
No,
on
not
top
the new
of his
one.
friends.
I want to make a character
As long
like
as it's not
Shinji
based off
Ikari
real
and
life.
winds up killing himself because he's sad.
As long as that's also not
That was
based
such a
off real life.
creepy ass scene. There's so many creepy scenes of that show.
Everything past the 13th episode was creepy. It's just freaking weird.
I've never seen it.
Don't.
No, you
Just
should.
watch the
Yeah.
movies that
You
came
should.
out.
Yeah, what's the...
No, what's that?
No.
What's that other one, Mike? Flame of Recca?
Oh,
Is that it?
God, it's
Watch-
terrible.
Watch Flame
No,
of Recca,
don't watch Flame of
because that's
Recca.
like one of
Watch-
Mike's
Flame of
favorite
Recca was
shows.
awesome.
Don't
Shut
watch...
up.
No,
Mike's
that was
favorite-
horrible.
He's like, it's like a great show. You've got to watch it. And I took his advice
No,
for like 2
well,
episodes.
me and Tony,
I wanted to stab
we
myself
sat
in
down
the
and
eye.
watched that whole thing, and we were at the end. We were just like, why?
Why what?
Like, why would you do that to us?
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't I
Because
do
it was
that to
it
you?
was
It was a
unbelievably hor-
gift.
It was horrible.
It was a gift.
No, Mike, you introduced me to like Trigun, and then I started
Good
watching Bebop, and
I
they're
love
like, yeah,
Bebop.
Flame of Recca. That's just, it's on the same line.
No.
No.
You need to watch-
First of all, it takes place in a stadium. There's a tournament. I was watching Pokemon. That's what it was.
Bad Pokemon.
Well,
Or like
That's kinda
Or
redundant.
what was it? What was that other one?
You should have known there was the moment there was ninjas in it.
Or like Naruto.
It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't matter
Like a
how
shorter
good or
Naruto.
bad it was. I loved it because there was ninjas in it.
actually, I'm gonna start watching Shippuden because I've been told it's really good.
Naruto is a good series.
I've only watched a couple of it. Yeah, but I'm saying I said it was a bad Naruto. It's Flame of Recca.
Yeah,
I've
there's
watched
only
the
one.
first.
There's only one tournament in all of
Naruto.
Naruto, and it lasts like 5 episodes, and that's it.
I think that's
That
the only
must
ones
be
I
the-
ever watched.
Yeah, that must be the only episodes I've ever seen because I thought the whole show was about that.
No, there's only
Yeah.
one tournament in the entire series.
Wow.
They
That's
should
all
just
I've ever
avoid
seen.
that format in all
Wait.
future animes.
So is this our
Performance?
current topic,
Yeah.
or are we?
Yeah, now we're talking about anime.
All right.
No, we're not. Now we're talking about nothing because we got to cut the show. We're done. We got a role play now.
That's true.
Hey!
Wish us
I
luck
would like
against
to
the
play a game.
troll.
All right. Yeah. Or if you're Chris, wish us bad luck, so then we could move along to the next game.
Yeah, if we die
So-
tonight, we'll
That's not-
maybe start.
that's not very
I think
nice.
what we'll do, and everyone's got to agree on it, except for Chuck because he's not here, so we get to vote for him. But when we start our next campaign, let's start from character creation and just record,
All right.
and then I'll spend
It's gonna be so long.
endless hours of my life editing it down to usable footage.
Yeah, because it's going to be like hours.
Did they
that we're
do?
gonna have to
Did
cut
they?
down.
They
Oh,
did the Dragon
look,
Age. I didn't
should
watch
this
that
be a
They
episode.
two
did Dragon
or a
Age on
one?
tabletop.
On tabletop.
They
How did
had-
it work out?
It
I
was
didn't watch it.
awesome. They had the guy who actually designed the system,
Yep.
which I don't know his name, but it's on that box over there.
Chris
If anyone-
Hardwick was in that episode, right?
Yeah, it was obviously Wheaton, Chris Hardwick, Sam Witwer from the U.S. version of Being Human. He plays the vampire.
Okay.
And I can't remember his name, and I feel bad because he's awesome. But the guy on Big Bang Theory who plays the comic book guy, the
Did you say
owner.
his name was Getter?
Oh.
Nah, I don't know.
Really?
Stewart. He plays Stewart.
Yeah, the guy who
That's
plays
it.
Stewart. Okay.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the actor's
The guy
name,
who
'cause
plays
he's
Stewart.
awesome. But I mean, I could Google it, but that's way too much effort to reach 4 feet. But yeah, it was a great system. They made everything really easy. It's just 3 dice. It's fun times. We should try it. And it worked out on
We own
tabletop.
it.
We do. It's been here for how long?
Since border closed.
A
Borders
long
closed.
time.
There's a lot of role-playing systems here that we've never used.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do that, and
Wheel of
hopefully we'll
Time,
start recording.
Besem,
So let's
Burning
move on.
Wheel.
Besem. I'm gonna run a Trigun campaign on that. I swear to God. Eventually, when we're like dead. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Especially our one official fan that we now have,
His name is Kevin Sussman.
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 Kevin Sussman.
The sus!
I'm gonna follow him on Twitter just because I feel bad now, and follow us on Twitter at @no_obsession. Find us on Facebook at No Ordinary Obsession. YouTube, NOO Podcast. everything that we do now is going on YouTube after we put it on
We're
iTunes.
media whores.
We are. We're going to get ourselves out there.
So like iTunes is like the first listeners, and then,
iTunes,
and then
yeah,
eventually
and
goes
then
on
we're
YouTube.
moving on to YouTube. Because you know what? On YouTube, people comment.
Okay.
Our iTunes listeners don't give us feedback, but on YouTube, we only have like 600 fans right now, or followers or subs, whatever. But they actually talk to us.
Do they really?
Really?
Yeah.
Proactive or
Not a
or-
lot, like maybe like 5 or 6 comments. But still, it's people that are commenting.
Well,
Are
so
they-
those
do
are
they
the
say
first
first?
listener mails.
Well, no, they don't. They haven't really. This is an official email I got from this
Okay,
guy. Like
okay.
he sent it to our Mancave at noordinaryobsession.com.
Yeah, you can also email me. I don't know why you would want to, but email me at SALIENTMIND. I'm so proud of myself I did that.
Salient mind,
At noordinaryobsession.com.
which kind of means. And my name is
Which doesn't
Jared at noordinaryobsession.com.
Do not
'Cause
think
that's
that
my
word
name.
means what you
Is
think
mine
it means.
is mine Nexifer?
You probably went. You guys
I
probably
think
went with
it is.
your
Yeah, with whatever the username
yeah
was.
your gamer tags. Because you're not human beings and don't have regular names.
I am Kesrix.
Yeah, I know. You're
That's really what
Lord
Rob,
of the Kes.
That's who Rob believes himself to be. So
I
He's a
believe
giant
myself
rabbit.
to be Jared.
Tonight I'm a stone
J-A-R-E-D.
troll. And I'm gonna kill you.
I hope
Good
not.
times. Good times.
don't troll. Uh-oh.
All right.
Anyway.
Well, that's it, guys. Good night. And I'll see you next week. 'Cause we're going to record again next week.
And wish you good luck.
Yay.
Taint.
What?
Thank you for listening to our show. Please visit our website at noordinaryobsession.com, where you'll find show notes from this and other podcasts, along with our blog and Twitter feed. This has been a production of No Ordinary Media, all material copyright unless otherwise noted. As always, be kind to us and subscribe to our feeds. Good night.